Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. In this video is going to be a cover because the lighting is not good. So this word is titled "The Ball is in Your Court." So the way that I got this word was I was scrolling through YouTube, and ever since God's been speaking to me about these relationships coming together, he's been giving me a lot of words when it comes to love songs and different music that has to do with relationships. And so now this is not a word for everybody, but if God has already been speaking to you about this, then this is for you. So the video that came up on my feed was a song by Maya, and the video is "Moving On." Now, when I first saw that video, I felt something a little bit, but then I thought maybe it was just me, so I tried to refresh it. And when I did that, it came up again. And so I refreshed it again, and it came up a third time. So I knew God was trying to tell me something. So I go into the video, and I've seen this like years ago, but just to refresh in my memory, I just watched it. And through this video, God was speaking to me, and he was showing me that, these couples that are coming together, these prodigals, they could be messing up right now. Some of these prodigals are messing up. The enemy does not want to let these prodigals go. And of course, he'll send these little Delilahs to weaken them, to try to see if they can weaken them so that they can't move forward. And just for these people to know what they're doing, they're coming against these godly unions that are coming together, that God is trying to bring together. Delilahs, they're trying to manipulate in any way they can, which we know manipulation is a form of witchcraft. So going back to the video, it starts off with Maya. She's in school, she's in class. I don't know if it's high school or college. Her man is one of the head basketball players of the school, and she's the cheerleader. And she's sitting there in class, and all of a sudden there's this other girl that passes a note back and wants Maya to know that she was with her man. So she's kind of like, she's trying to rub it in her face. And so she kind of just like rolls her eyes. And then as she's going throughout the school, she starts seeing that the rumor is true. She starts seeing that he is being unfaithful. He's a little player. He's still playing around. So while this is going on, there's this other guy watching. He's been seeing the whole thing going on, and he has a crush on her. He has a crush on Maya, but he knows that she has a man. But he's letting her know, like, hey, if it doesn't work out, then give me a chance. Basically what he's saying. So basically she's finding out the truth. She finds out that her man cheated on her, and he's being unfaithful. He's been messing up. And so the whole song, she's saying that she's decided that she's moving on. And then this other guy that has been admiring her this whole time, he steps in. And it's very interesting because at the end of the video, I can see that her ex, he has a jersey with the number 10 on it. Now, if you've seen a video that I've done that I titled "Don't Delay," then you understand that 10 represented the mission that he had, that God had given him. But obviously now that he has been playing around, he lost his spot. He lost his woman. Okay, so I take note of that, and I'm thinking, okay, so God is saying there's prodigals out there that they've already been told that you are their spouse, you are the one for them. But because of whatever reason that they have not approached you, or they have not been released, the Delilahs have been coming in and trying to take advantage of the situation. And God is basically saying the ball is in your court. The thing about these godly relationships is that God will reveal things to you. That's why they are not to be messed with. They are not to be played with if you are serious about these relationships, if you are serious about doing the will of God. So after I saw that video, then I saw another one. This was confirmed with another video that I saw. And I was watching, that TV show Better Together, which has, these godly women that come together and they They share their testimonies. One of the women that were sharing, her name is Sheila Walshin. And she was speaking about how she had been married for 31 years, but her marriage had been really tough. And so she was sharing about, she didn't go too much into detail about what her husband had done, but she was sharing about how she was on her way out. Like, she wanted to move on with her life. She wanted to leave the marriage. And the husband was asking her for her to go to marriage counseling, and she agreed to go. Now, I guess he was there before she got there. So before she went in there, she had said, you know, she was done, but at the same time, she wanted God's will. So she had asked Holy Spirit, you know, she was saying, Holy Spirit, you know, speak to me, help me, because, you know, I'm ready to just leave. Show me what to do. And so when she entered the room, she saw that her husband had been crying. She saw that he had been going through some hard stuff that he was sharing with his counselor. Now, when she sat down, the counselor began to speak to her. And, you know, she was just telling him that she was having a hard time with trying to stay in the marriage. And she said the one thing that he said that really stuck out to her was, he had asked her, he said, do you know who my favorite person on earth is? And then she said, okay, who is your favorite person? And he said, my tailor. And then she looked at him and she said, why your tailor? Why is your tailor your favorite person on earth? And he responded, he says, because he's always taking fresh measurements. You know, no matter what happens, what goes on in his life, he can always go to his tailor and get fresh fittings. So in other words, he's always changing. He's not staying the same. And so he turned to her and he asked her that same question. He says, can you take your husband's fresh measurements? And, you know, that's when the question kind of hit her. And she was like, okay, you know, seeing her husband in tears, seeing him wanting to do counseling, wanting to change, she said, okay, yes, I can take fresh measurements. It's like the Holy Spirit touched her heart. And she said, yes, I can. So these are two videos that God had brought to my attention. And I noticed that when I was watching this video, at the time, there was 575 views. And that really stuck out to me. So 575 in the Greek, it means separation, off, and away. Now in the Hebrew, it means I pray, please. It means please, I pray. And what God was revealing through this, he was saying that even though your prodigal has messed up, they're asking God, they're praying to God for another chance to make it right. They're crying out to God, and they are trying to make these adjustments in their life. You know, when you're thinking of a prodigal, they're coming out of these habits. They're coming out of these maybe old circles that they're used to hanging around. It'd be one thing if there wasn't change in them, if they weren't trying. But because they have cried out to God for another chance, God is still giving them another chance. And he's saying, the ball is in your court. You know, one thing about these marriages that are coming together, it's not like before. God is not playing around when it comes to these unions. If you are serious about this relationship, if you're serious about doing God's will, even if you guys are not physically together yet, if you haven't even made contact with him, but you know for a fact, because God has already made it very clear to you that that is your spouse. You should not be entertaining anybody else. That's one thing that God had told me. God had told me that a couple years ago. He had told me, he says, now, Deborah, when I do show you who your husband is, you cannot even entertain the thought of going on dates. You cannot even entertain the thought about giving somebody else the time of day, because I have already revealed to you who your husband is. If God has already showed you who your spouse is, you should not be entertaining anybody else. Yes, the wait is long. The wait has been a little rocky, but at the same time, that's considered being unfaithful. And whether or not you know it, you are being tested, because God will not keep secrets from your spouse. God is not playing around when it comes to these unions. These unions are not going to have divorces. Now, if you are going to go out and mess things up, God will expose it. God will not keep your secrets away from your spouse. So again, if God has been revealing to you, if you are the one that has been standing for your spouse, that has been in the waiting for your spouse to return to you, He's not going to keep these things from you. He's going to reveal these things to you. If they're messing up, you're going to know about it. But like God is saying, this is the spouse, this is the person that I chose for you. I want you to give them another chance, because they have cried out to me. They have been trying their very best. Like God is saying, He wants you to give them another chance. But He also understands. But like in Maya's video, there could be somebody else that's waiting in that place, that's waiting for their opportunity. Either they have already approached you, or they have already asked God for you. So God is giving you the freedom. He's giving you the option. He is saying the ball is in your court. Here's what's going on. The ball is in your court. Do you want to continue to try with this prodigal? Are you willing to give this person another shot? Or are you wanting to move on? So again, if this word is for you, spend some time with God. Ask for guidance for the situation. So I know this is a tough video, but I hope that it helped whoever was going through this. So if you have a comment, leave it down below, and I will see you guys in the next video. God bless.